Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradari, Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tirupana-chari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam as it is. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay. I just shared this reel, and Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture, and someone asked him, like, why did we come to this material world? The material world that we're in right now, it's a place of birth, death, old age, and disease. And Srila Prabhupada said, the reason you're here is because you decided to come here, right? You forced Krishna to send you here. Like, we forced God to send us to this material world. Why? Because God is fully independent, okay? And we're part and parcel of God, so we have like a little bit of independence. And we wanted to come here for whatever reason. We wanted to leave the spiritual world to come to this material world to enjoy something, right? We wanted to enjoy something. We wanted to be separate from God. So that's why we're here, right? We made that decision to come here. And just like in Prabhupada used the example, like your father, like you have a father and he might tell you, like, child, don't do this. It's bad. Don't go there. Don't do this thing. It's bad. Don't do it. But because you have a little bit of independence, even though your father warned you not to do it and says, don't do it, you still do it. Okay. That's why we're here, guys. We chose to be here. We chose birth, death, old age, and disease over eternal bliss, right? But now we realize, oh, wait, this material world kind of sucks. Like, this material world is not so pleasant because this is a place of miseries, guys, whether you like it or not. This material world is a place of miseries. There's birth, death, old age, and disease. Okay. You might forget it temporarily because maybe your life is good right now. Maybe you have like a nice, you have a nice family life. Maybe you have a lot of money in the bank account. So you might temporarily forget that what this world is, but this world is a place of miseries, guys. Like, there's birth, death, old age, and disease. At some point you're gonna experience those miseries, but sometimes people just forget about it. That's the power of, that's Maya, guys. That's illusion. Like Maya makes you forget about the real reality. And the real reality is like this material world sucks. It's like a place of misery. And the best place to be, like, if you want to experience true eternal happiness, you got to go back to the spiritual world. Okay. That's the reality, whether you like it or not. Some of you don't like that. Okay. So let's continue reading from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita as it is, introduction. The distinction between the Jiva and the Ishvara will be explained in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord is Kshetragya, conscious, as is the living being, but the living being is conscious of his particular body, whereas the Lord is conscious of all bodies. He lives in the heart of every living being. See, God is conscious of everything, right? Like he knows what I'm thinking, he knows what you're thinking, but you don't know what I'm thinking. Like, what am I thinking right now? You don't know, because you're not conscious of what I'm thinking. But God is conscious of everything. So he's aware of all of your thoughts, guys. He's aware of everybody's thoughts on the planet. It's hard to understand. Like, all of this is hard to understand. Like, when you think about all of this stuff, like, where's God from, right? Like, life comes from life. So you think about it. So life comes from life. I came from my parents. My parents came from their grandparents. And if you trace it back, it goes to God. But then people are going to be like, well, where's God come from then? Like, where does God come from? That's the question that people can't answer. It's a hard, like, I can't even answer that. like it's kind of hard. It's just hard to comprehend, because that's the difference. That's what makes God God, is he like comes, like, he's always there. He's always existed. But we can't really wrap our head around that, right? Like, why is God? Why does he get to be God? Why don't I get to be God? Right? Like, why does God get to be God? Right? See, that's the hardest question for any like spiritual person to ask, to answer, is like, where's God from? Right? Where does God come from? Well, he's always there. And like, that's hard to comprehend. That's hard to wrap our minds around. So then some people would be thinking like, well, why wasn't I God? Like, why did he get to be God? Why did Krishna get to be God? Why didn't I get to be God? Because that's just the way it is. I know it's a conundrum. It's a conundrum. That's the one question like nobody can really answer, other than that's the definition of God. He was always existing. It's crazy, guys. I know it's crazy, but life is crazy. Lord is Ketra God, conscious as he is a living being, but the living being is conscious of his particular body, whereas the Lord is conscious of all bodies. Because he lives in the heart of every living being, he is conscious of the psychic movements of the particular jivas. God is conscious of your psychic movements, guys. God is aware of everything that you're doing. So, Christmas is coming. You better be good. You better not cry. Wait, I don't know. I forgot the song. I forgot the Christmas song. Okay. He knows when you are sleeping. So God knows everything. Like, God knows all your thoughts. Like, you can't cheat God, right? You can do all kinds of nonsense, and like some people might not know what you're doing, but you can't cheat God. God knows exactly what you're doing and what you're not doing. Okay. So that's why you gotta, like, real peace comes from doing the right thing, even when it's hard. And it's a practice, because we all make mistakes. We're human, right? Sometimes we do things we're not so proud of. I've done things I'm not proud of, for sure. You've probably done things you're not really proud of. But real peace, real joy, it comes from doing the right thing, whether people are, watching, or whether anybody can see or not. It's doing the right thing, whether somebody sees you or not, right? Like, you're by yourself, you can do all kinds of nonsense, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Okay. So, because he lives in the heart of every living being, he is conscious of the psychic movements of the particular jivas. We should not forget this. Don't forget that Krishna is conscious of everything. So he's fully aware of everything you're doing and everything you're not doing. So like Ayendra Prabhu used to say, keep your nose clean. You got to keep your nose clean, right? That's like a slang thing from America. Like, that's a saying. If you look it up, you'll realize what it is. But you gotta do the right thing, guys. You gotta be a good person, whether people are watching you or not. Okay. You know what the right thing to do is. Like, for example, we have the four, like, regulative principle. The four regulative principles: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. So doing the right thing means you follow those principles. So if you're like willingly breaking those principles, because no one's making you drink, right? No one's making anybody drink. It takes an endeavor to drink, right? You're going to have to go to the store, you're going to have to buy your drink, and then you're going to have to drink it, right? Like, nobody's forcing you to do that. Like, nobody's forcing you to have illicit sex, right? You're going to have to find your partner and have illicit sex with them. Nobody's making you do that. You got to actually put in some endeavor to do that. So instead of putting in endeavor to do sinful activities, just control yourself, which is a practice. I get it. We're human. You just got to practice. Okay, I'm not going to do that. We got just one day at a time, guys. I'm talking to myself here. You got one day at a time, just to be the best person you can be and live with integrity every single day, one day at a time. Now, I understand we're jivas, right? So the mind and the senses are pulling us. They're like, oh, do it, right? But you're like, no. That's just how it is, guys. Okay. It is also explained that the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is living in everyone's heart as Ishvara, as a controller, and that he is giving direction for the living entity to act as he desires. The living entity forgets what to do. First of all, he makes a determination to act in a certain way. Then he is entangled in the acts and reactions of his own karma. Okay, so that's what it says. Like the jiva, me, you, the soul. Okay, you make a decision. It's your choice, right? Okay, so like you make a determination, you make a decision to act in a certain way. Like you might choose to do something sinful. You like might choose to go to the bar and start drinking. That's your decision. Okay. So, and when he is entangled in the acts and then he is entangled in the acts and reactions of karma, of his own karma. So you make a choice to do something bad or do something good. And once you make that decision, then you're going to get the reaction to it, right? You're going to get the reaction to it. That's how karma works. So you got to make the right decisions every day. You got to make the decision to do the right thing, whether people are watching or not. Okay. And if you've made mistakes and you've made bad decisions, I get it. We've all done it. Okay. And we all might do it again. So you got to just work on it. It's a practice. Okay. After giving up one type of body, he enters another type of body as we put on and take off old clothes. Yeah, that's karma, that's reincarnation, that's transmigration from the soul. So when you die, your soul is going to go into another body based on your activities, okay, based on your consciousness and your activities. So maybe you'll enter into the spiritual world based on your consciousness and your activities, or maybe you'll get another material body based on your consciousness and your activities. So that's why it's very important to be aware of what activities you are doing every single day, and what you're thinking is, what are you thinking every single day? Are you thinking about Krishna? Are you thinking about Maya? Okay. After giving up one type of body, he enters into another type of body as we put on and take off clothes. As a soul thus migrates, he suffers in the actions and reactions of his past activities. That's how karma works. These activities can be changed when the living being is in the mode of goodness and sanity and understands what sort of activities he should adopt, right? So what should you adopt? No meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. These are the four main things. If you could just follow those things, you'd be doing really well. Okay. Now, a lot of people can't struggle. Like I live in America right now, and intoxication, it's everywhere. Okay. It's everywhere. There's commercials for it. There's advertisements for it all over the place. Illicit sex, of course, that's everywhere, right? It's not advertised as much, but it's everywhere. Let's see. Gambling, they have gambling ads all the time. They're always gambling ads all over the place on TV. Meat eating, same thing in America. They have advertisements for meat everywhere. It's gross. Like I don't want to see it, but it's there. Like you can't avoid it. If you turn on the TV or something, there's ads for meat eating, intoxication, gambling. Not so much illicit sex. I don't really have ads for illicit sex, but there's that like energy where they're like they have like commercials and everyone's like wearing bikinis or whatever, but it's not like they're not like actively promoting it, but it's there, right? And everyone's doing it. Okay. See, I'm just being straight up honest, guys. So these activities can be changed when the living being is in the mode of goodness, insanity, not insanity, insanity. Like he's in the mode of goodness, he's sane, he's thinking properly. Okay. And understands what sort of activities he should adopt. What sort of activities should you adopt? No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. So what should you adopt? Wholesome activities, meditation, working on yourself, doing like eating wholesome food, offering your food to Krishna, engaging in spiritual activities like chanting and dancing, reading the scriptures. That's what you should be doing. Okay, that's what you should be doing. Are you doing it? Are you doing it? What are you doing? Because God's watching you. Okay, whether you like it or not, guys, you have no privacy because Krishna's in your heart. Krishna can see everything you do and everything you don't do. Okay, you can't hide anything from God. Nothing you can hide. You think you're being sneaky doing your little sinful activities? You're not. Okay, you're busted. Busted. Myself included, guys. Okay, I'm not better than anybody else. All right. And understands what sort of activities he should adopt. If he does so, then all the actions and reactions of his past activities can be changed. Okay, so if you can just finally you can change everything. You can change your karma if you just finally say no. You say no more sinful activities, no more Maya, no more intoxication, no more illicit sex, no more meat eating, no more gambling, only pure life. Then Krishna can remove all your sinful reactions when you surrender to Krishna, which means surrendering to the principles. Okay. If he does so, then all the actions and reactions of his past activities can be changed. Consequently, karma is not eternal. Therefore, we stated that of the 5 items, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, time, and karma, 4 are eternal, whereas karma is not eternal. The supreme conscious Ishvara is similar to the living entity in this way. Both the consciousness of the Lord and that of the living entity are transcendental. Okay, they're both transcendental, guys. We're all made of spiritual substance. It is not that consciousness is generated by the association of matter. That is a mistaken idea. The theory that consciousness develops under the certain circumstances of material combination is not accepted in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Consciousness doesn't come from matter. Consciousness doesn't come from that. It's already there. Consciousness may be pervertedly reflected by the covering of material circumstances, just as a light reflected through colored glass may appear to be a certain color, but the consciousness of the Lord is not materially affected. Lord Krishna says, Mayad Yakshena Prakriti. When he descends into this material universe, his consciousness is not materially affected. See, when we come to this material world, our consciousness is affected. Like if we're not spiritually strong, we can easily just stumble into bad association, right? And we can get affected by so many things. What we see, what we associate with, right? We can get dragged into like the darkest regions of the universe. Okay. Like if you hang out with 4, like Prabhupada would say, if you hang out with 4 drunkards, you're going to be the 5th. Okay. So we can get affected because we're not so spiritually strong. Someone can entice us to, so we can like indulge in intoxication or whatever, the sinful activities. If he were so affected, he would be unfit to speak on the transcendental matters as he does in the Bhagavad Gita. See, Krishna is not affected by any of these things. Okay. He's not affected by these things. One cannot say anything about the transcendental world without being freed from the materially contaminated consciousness. So the Lord is not materially contaminated. Our consciousness at the present moment, however, is materially contaminated. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that we have to purify this materially contaminated consciousness. Okay, we got to purify our consciousness. In pure consciousness, our actions will be dovetailed to the will of the Ishvara, and that will make us happy. Okay, so that's how we become happy. If our consciousness is in line with God, Krishna consciousness. It is not that we have to cease all activities. Rather, our activities have to be purified, and our activities have to be purified. And purified activities are called bhakti yoga. Okay, devotional service. And of the top things that you can do in devotional service, the top things that to do are chanting and hearing and chanting, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm chanting by reading the Bhagavad Gita, and I'm hearing myself speak, and you're hearing me too. If you're listening, if you're not, your loss, I guess. Activities in bhakti appear to be like ordinary activities, but they are not contaminated. An ignorant person may see the devotee is acting or working like an ordinary man, but such a person with a poor fund of knowledge does not know that the activities of the devotee or of the Lord are not contaminated by impure consciousness or matter. Okay, you might see like devotees going around chanting Hare Krishna, and you're just like, oh, they're just normal people, but they're not necessarily, depending on their consciousness, of course. People are different levels. They are transcendental to the 3 modes of material nature. We should know, however, that at this point, our consciousness is contaminated. When we are materially contaminated, we are called conditioned. False consciousness is exhibited under the impression that I am the product of material nature. This is called false ego. Okay, false ego. You think you're the material body. You think you're a man. You think you're a woman. You think you're white. You think you're black. You think you're American. You think you're Indian. You think you're Asian. That's false ego. That's not your true self. You're spiritual. You're beyond all these material designations, but people don't realize this. People have no clue. How many people identify like, hey, I'm Indian. I'm proud to be Indian. I'm American. I'm proud to be American. You're not. You're a spiritual soul, right? You're not any of these things. But people are so conditioned to identifying with the body. Okay. One who is absorbed in the thought of bodily conceptions cannot understand the situation. Yeah, it's hard for people to really get this because they're so absorbed in bodily condition, like they're just so absorbed in bodily life and materialistic life. Bhagavad Gita was spoken to liberate one from the bodily conception of life, and Arjuna put himself in this position in order to receive this information from the Lord. One must become free from the bodily conception of life. That is a preliminary activity for the transcendentalist. One who wants to become free, who wants to become liberated, must first of all learn that he is not this material body. You are not your material body. You're a spiritual soul. Okay, your consciousness that is observing everything, that's you, right? You're not the body. So you shouldn't let the body dictate your actions. You got to be in control of your actions. Mukti or liberation means freedom from material consciousness. And the Srimad Bhagavatam is also the definition of liberation is given. Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world and situation of pure consciousness. All the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are intended to awaken this pure consciousness. And therefore, we find at the last stage of the Gita's instruction that Krishna is asking Arjuna whether he is now in purified consciousness. Purified consciousness means acting in accordance with the instructions of the Lord. So what does the Lord want us to do? He wants us to surrender to him. He wants us to think of him. He wants us to do like spiritual activities like chanting and dancing. Like Lord Chaitanya wants you to spread the Hare Krishna movement all around the world. He wants you to chant and dance, distribute prasadam, distribute books. That's what they want you to do. Are you doing it? This is the whole sum and substance of purified consciousness. Consciousness is already there because we are part and parcel of the Lord. But for us, there is affinity of being affected by the inferior modes. Yeah, the modes. That's why we do things we don't necessarily want to do because we're not so spiritually strong. You got to get spiritual strength so you can say no to Maya. You can say no to sinful activities. That takes strength. I'm not saying it happens overnight. It could happen. It could take lifetimes. For many people, it does. But the Lord, being the supreme, is never affected. That is the difference between the supreme Lord and the conditioned souls. What is this consciousness? This consciousness is I am. Then what am I? What am I? In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I survey. I am the enjoyer. Okay, there you go. Contaminated consciousness, you think like I am the enjoyer. I'm meant here to like I'm here to enjoy. I'm here to enjoy like with my eyes. I'm here to enjoy with my touch. I'm here to enjoy with my tongue. Everything. You think you are the enjoyer, but you're not the enjoyer. God is the enjoyer. Okay, that's the difference. The world revolves because every living being thinks he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Yep. People think they're God. They won't admit it, but they think they're God. Okay. Especially the more like materially powerful they get, then they think they're even more godlike. Like Hiranyakashipu, he thought he was like the Lord, right? And then the Lord came as Lord Nrsimhadev, was like, nope, you're not the one. So people think they're God, like subconsciously, they think they're the enjoyer, right? The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has two psychic divisions. One is that I am the creator, and the other is I am the enjoyer. So we think that we are the creators and the enjoyers. Ooh, powerful, deep stuff, guys. But actually, the Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. Okay, you're not the creator, you're not the enjoyer. Now you're a mini and creator and you're a mini enjoyer, but you're not the supreme creator and you're not the supreme enjoyer. You're actually a servant, and your mission, your goal is to give pleasure to God in your activities, in your thoughts, in your actions. But actually, the Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. The living entity, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is neither the creator nor enjoyer, but a cooperator. We are a cooperator. We cooperate. Cooperate. That's a hard word for me to say right now. Cooperates. He is the created and the enjoyed. For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates. Sometimes this is hard to talk, man. Cooperates with the whole body. The hands, feet, eyes, legs, so on are all parts of the body, but they are not actually the enjoyers. Okay. So you're not the enjoyer, Krishna is. So you gotta serve Krishna. Hare Krishna. I talked for like 23 minutes today. I was planning to talk for 10 minutes, but it's good. I could read this for hours, honestly. I could read from Bhagavad Gita for like hours if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. All right, because I got stuff I gotta do. But do I? Or maybe that's just Maya telling me I got other stuff to do. I don't know. Who knows? Let's chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol, Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. All right, Hare Krishna, my friends. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. Or don't. You have free will. Do what you want. Hare Krishna. But I would say, chant Hare Krishna, be happy. That's what the Lord wants. Just be a pure soul, man. Just say no to Maya and say yes to Krishna. Simple.